Hi, today I'm making a very easy apple pie. I actually like this recipe quite a bit because it actually uses mixed apples. So I'm using Honey Crisp as well as Granny Smith apples. I find that they have a better flavor when you mix the apples as opposed to just going with Granny Smith. For this recipe, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of lemon as well as 1 cup of granulated sugar. Now, some people like to use brown sugar. You can do that. I just like to use granulated sugar. Works a little better for me. You're going to peel your apples. I think one of the key things for an apple pie is actually not cutting the apples too thin. You don't want the pie to be mushy. And so I've used this apple cutter, and I usually will take the apples from the cutter depending on the size, and if it's too large, I'll cut them in half. But I think that that's really important because it's a little bit, the apples cook through, but they're not mushy. The rest of the ingredients are 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. What thickens the juice in the pie is cornstarch. So I'm using 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And I'm going to add the sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and the cornstarch all to the apples. I've added the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice as well. And I'm going to combine until well coated. I actually first add the sugar and the spices and then mix it, and then I add the cornstarch. I don't know, it seems like it draws out the flavor a little bit. Don't know if it makes a difference or not, but it is what I do. Now, this is a very quick pie recipe, so I am just letting you know that I'm using refrigerated pie crust. I do have a pie dough recipe in my little mini cookbook that I have on my website, so if you want to know how to make it or how I make it, it's in there. So I'm going to press the pie dough into the pie pan, and I'm transferring the apples into the bottom layer crust. Okay, I haven't crimped them just yet, but what I'm going to do is then take the top layer, because an apple pie actually is a double crust pie. So I have then crimped the edges. Once all the edges are sealed, I have taken a small knife and made 4 tiny slits into the pie. And then I'm going to make an egg wash. And again, this is just 1 egg. Sometimes people use milk with their egg wash. I don't. I just use an egg wash, and I'm using once I've mixed it, I'm using my basting brush to then just coat the pie, right? The very top of the pie. And what this does is to help it brown. So that's why you would use it. And I actually have sparkling sugar. And that sparkling sugar gives I add that to the top, as you can see here. And they're just larger sugar granules. Makes the pie a little prettier. So I am baking this pie at 400 degrees for 15 minutes so that I can cook the bottom crust. And then I'm turning it down for the remaining 30 to 35 minutes, depending on your oven, until it turns a beautiful golden brown color and the apples are cooked through. Now you can let the pie rest and then you can serve. Sometimes I actually leave the pie in the oven for another 5 minutes with the heat turned off. It actually browns the crust more, and I find that I like that a little better. I've taken a generous, healthy piece for myself, And the rest of that pie went to my neighbors who seemed to really enjoy it. That's my easy apple pie.